Hello, everybody. Welcome to a special edition of the Hamilton County Television Sports Show. Today, we have the pleasure of visiting with Fishers Tigers head basketball coach Matt Moore. Coach Moore, thank you for sitting down with us. And early in the season, we're at 2-3, but things are, I think, looking up for the Tigers.
Absolutely. I thought the 5 games we've played were against excellent competition, a diverse schedule in a lot of ways, and I thought we've done a good job of each game doing what we can to put ourselves in a position to win. And starting from the Lawrence Central game all the way to our game this last weekend against Mount Vernon, we were in the game and have had great opportunities to continue to grow the program the way we need to.
Well, let's talk about the season in general. Every team over the summer, through graduation and transfers or whatever, you gain some players, you lose some players, and that. Talk about some of the key players you lost over this season, mainly to graduation, and what have you added to the team?
The 2 players that we feel the most hurt from in terms of graduation is Jeremy Szilagyi and Jordan Jones. Both of those guys added a unique element to our offensive and defensive approach last year. We do return 4 guys that played a lot last year for us: Alex Szilagyi, Josiah Matthews, Terry Hicks, and Willie Jackson. To go with those guys, we've got a few guys from the junior varsity, and Justin Long has become a starter for us. We've got a freshman right now starting for us, Jeffrey Simmons, who's starting to come into his own a little bit. So I like our group. I like our skill set. I think we're starting to guard much better than we did early in the season. And I think if we continue to make those strides, this group is going to be able to gel together to do some special things.
Well, one of the things I noticed is you've got 3 players on your team this early in the season who are all averaging over 10-plus points per game, which has got to be a good feeling for you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, for us, we want guys to understand that we want to score. I think last year we had to put in our defensive philosophy a little bit earlier and stronger and make that our emphasis. But this year, the offensive side of the ball is where we're trying to put a little bit more focus on. And Willie's done a great job of scoring the ball and sharing the ball. I think we're shooting at 52% right now through 5 games, and our efficiency from 3 has been 42%. We're getting to the foul line where our assist-to-turnover ratio is outstanding. So, we're doing a lot of good things offensively and continuing to get our guys to understand that the more we can put a lot more guys in box scores, the better chance we're going to have to win.
Well, let's specifically talk about the offense and defense, and let's look defensively first because, so many coaches say a good defense helps the offense and helps win the games. Defensively, how do you feel about this team?
I think it's good. I think the one thing is you watch us in games or warm up is we don't have a lot of size. So we have to utilize some of our quickness and some other things defensively. In our first few games against Lawrence Central and Ben Davis, they had some size that really hurt us, especially on the boards. So we've got to do a better job of really limiting penetration and doing a better job in our matchups and being more aggressive in gaps. And that's just a process that these guys have to learn. Last year we didn't switch very much. This year we switch everything. So I think just teaching the game in a day-by-day process is new for them in some ways, but at the same time, we expect a lot of the guys that are going to play. We're going to play 7, 8 guys in our rotation, about it, and those guys got to figure out how to guard and how to play in those games late, especially to get stops when it's time.
Yeah, I think, from what I've seen a couple of games on tape, and I was at the Ben Davis game, and obviously Ben Davis is a very, very quick transition type team. And I thought defensively, you guys did a great job holding them to what you did.
Yeah, and they put some challenges in front of you with the big kid Jones and Wyndham on the wing, both Division I athletes. But I thought that game in particular, we got down 11-0 to start the game and had the lead at halftime and honestly led the entire second, third, and most of the fourth quarter. So we're doing a lot of good things. And in that game, I think it gave us some confidence that we're playing an opponent that's a high-caliber opponent that's going to bring the best out of you, and we were able to go blow for blow with them. They made some tough shots late, which kind of extended the lead for them, and we ended up losing by 5. But I think it was a good measuring stick for us early in the season to see where we're at and where we need to go.
Let's talk a little bit more about the offense. As I said a little bit earlier, you've got 3 guys who are at 10-plus points per game already.
Yeah, and we're there's two guys, Terry Hicks and Jeffrey Simmons, just around 8. So, we've got 5 guys that can score the ball right now, and I think the thing that makes us challenging to guard is because we have such diversity in our scoring. You really can't key on one guy. If you're going to focus on Willie, Josiah and Alex can do some things. If you focus on those two, taking them away, then Terry, who was our leading scorer last year, can do some damage. And then Jeffrey Simmons, I think, is the key for us. If he continues to come along the way he has early in this season, I think he's going to be extremely special with what he brings to the table.
Super. Let's talk a little bit about the schedule that you guys have. You're 5 games into the season, 15 games plus 1 tournament left to go before the IHSAA tournament, and you look up and down this schedule, and it's loaded with some excellent basketball teams.
It is, and that's part of the reason I came here is, every night, every weekend, you're going to have to be on your A game. You got to teach it at a high level. Your kids have to be willing to put the time in beyond practice to put themselves in a position to have success. And we're starting to get that buy-in. We're starting to get guys that are spending more time in the gym and going to scout other opponents with us. And there's really not any off nights. As you look down through, everybody's got good players. Everybody's got good coaches. I was looking this morning at the HCC. I was emailing some of the coaches, and I'm going through, Lynch and Macaulay and Satterfield. And these guys have won some games. They've played in big games. They've won big games. And so, that's the exciting thing for us is we're going to be able to measure ourselves against that every night.
Well, you were just talking about the HCC and the caliber of that conference. And, of course, I will be the first to admit, living in Hamilton County and following the county schools, I'm a little bit more biased toward the HCC, but I think what you have got in the HCC, in my opinion, and I'd like your opinion on it, I think if it's not the best, it's one of the best conferences in the state of Indiana, not only for basketball, just overall sports. It's got a good group of schools and great competition.
Yeah, I think the 4 things that you look that our league has, I think the physical talent, teams are extremely talented. I think the skill sets, you get a good variety of skill. I think the coaching that you get is top-notch, second to none. And I think that the support, the following, the crowds, that is something that basketball still in the heart of Indiana matters, and that's something that's special. And when we go to Noblesville and they've got an outstanding student section there cheering us, and them on against a rival, that's special. And so those are 4 things that make this time of year and this season basketball in 2018-19 special, I think, and that's what we like to be part of.
One other last question here. We talked about the the remaining games here, the 15 regular games. You're going to be in a tournament at Lebanon over the holidays. Who will you play over there?
So Gary 21st out of Gary, Indiana, was a regional finalist last year. We'll play them in the opening round. There's a chance that we'll play my former team, Kokomo, in the second round, and then Perry Meridian, Lebanon are both in that tournament. Lebanon was in the regional last year. Marquette Catholic was in the regional last year. So there's some quality opponents in that for us. And the schedule setup is kind of a regional setup. You're going to play 2 games in a day, and so that's something we want to expose our guys to as well.
That's great. Well, I see you do have Kokomo in the schedule as the last game of the season.
Yeah.
Is that done by design, or
No,
did that happen by accident?
That was just one of those things. That's how it worked out. And, I still have a lot of friends that live up there and follow their guys because a number of those seniors played for me as sophomores. And again, cheering on them from a distance and just like to continue to see them have success.
Well, Coach Moore, we'd like to thank you for spending the time with us and wish you good luck the rest of the season. On behalf of the Hamilton County Sports Program, brought to you by Logan Street Signs and Banners, I'm Brad Silbert. Good day.